Hi everyone, this is Nadia, award-winning mentor, author, Clairsentient psychic, and founder of Spartanite. Today I'm going to be covering a great topic that I channeled with my work through working with the goetic being King Clauneck, who is the spirit of wealth, value, and merchant finance. I took the liberty to sit with him and ask him a question about a winning mentality, the business realms, relationships, life in general. And Clauneck came up with a very interesting topic that a lot of people in modern society seem to avoid, or they have conveniently forgotten, is what I call it. And this topic is about, the concept of pain and using it as a motivator for success. Now, I write more about it in the book that I actually wrote with. I actually channeled Clauneck. This is his sigil that I have channeled over here. And the sigil I put on the cover of this book that I channeled from him as a testament and as a thank you for the work that he has used me to share in the world. It's basically called Winning. Discover and create the life you deserve through charm, magnetism, and strategy. And you can find this book on Amazon, in print as I'm holding, and also on Kindle for all those who work with Clauneck or are interested to create an iron ring mentality and also have true wealth consciousness that allows you to seamlessly move from one situation to another. Now, pain is a concept that most people dread. Like, I don't particularly feel excited thinking if I hit my arm with a knife and I feel pain, ow, or if I was opening the refrigerator door and, my my finger got stuck halfway and you're like, ow, or someone breaks up with you, or you lose your business, or a parent dies, or, you lose something important to you in the street, you get mugged, you get robbed. All of that is just pain, right? So there are different levels of pain. No woman goes into childbirth thinking, I'm really excited to push this child out of me. You're excited to meet the child, not the pain you go through. But you see, on the other side of pain is everything you've ever wanted. Human beings have been engineered to a point where we avoid pain. We're moving towards pleasure all the time, but we avoid pain. But there's a fallacy in that because, you see, when you start to avoid pain, you avoid whatever's inside you. You avoid the jewels that lie inside you, and pain is never easy to dig into. Pain kind of reminds me again of one of those situations where, say for instance you have a wound, okay, and you're literally trying to maybe take a splinter out, and it really hurts. The pain is so bad that you just like, I can't do this anymore, or I can't push through it anymore. But pain is a very interesting concept that Clauneck has always taught me. Clauneck traditionally chooses to work with people in a business generally, or also those who are in high-end professional institutions or whatever, wherever you want to call it. Clauneck is not particularly adverse on any religion or faith. As long as you have respect for him and you approach him with respect and you heed his guidance, he's very happy to help whoever it is, as long as you do the work. Don't summon him, approach him, and then fuck around and try and disrespect him. That's not good. So the concept of pain is very simple. In order to become successful, you have to embrace pain. And a lot of people may embrace physical pain, or they may embrace pain where you just have to be resilient, or you have to be persistent or determined or committed. That's good. But they run away from emotional pain. They run away from intergenerational family trauma. They run away from breakups. They're constantly running from situations because they don't have the courage to face it. Clauneck always tells me that when we're trying to build true wealth consciousness within ourselves, and true wealth consciousness is not particularly just the numbers in your bank account or the assets you hold or where you've invested your money, because that all comes with time as well. But true wealth consciousness is filling up the bank of the heart. It's filling up the internal money bank. And the internal money bank is only filled up when you choose to do your work. Now, there are a lot of people who move towards something good. Say, for instance, I see this on social media all the time. A lot of people who follow my work are very aware that neither Spartanite, the company, or my brand, or myself use Facebook. So I obviously cannot speak for Facebook as a platform. Now, I saw this on, I think, Twitter the other day, or it was quite a while. By the other day, I don't mean 2 days ago. It's probably like 2, 3 months, 4 months ago. And there was somebody that was speaking about pain, essentially, in entrepreneurship, or pain in getting the life that you want for yourself. Whatever is worth has a price. All things in this world have a price. If you did not know this till today, you have to learn this, and you have to know that for one thing, you need to make, for one thing, say for instance, I want this, I'm going to have to sacrifice this to get this. By sacrifice, I don't mean literal. With the type of occult work I do, that's not the sacrifice I am talking about. I don't touch those realms. By sacrifice means that you have to say, okay, I want to work out, I'm going to sacrifice chocolate cake for this week, or you kind of get my point. It's very mundane of what I'm trying to say here, and it's very easy to understand. But you're going to have to give up something. By sacrifice, I mean you're going to have to give up something. And in the tower of pain, so to speak, or the work that a lot of us do, especially if you're an occultist or you work with Clauneck or you have interest to really build the faction on the inside, it's very easy to destroy somebody, Clauneck is saying in my head, if you know their emotional weak points. Now, I'm not advocating for people to go ahead and do that. But this is the reason we work with the Tower of Pain. You really have to dig into your own pain, because when you've dug into your own pain, people that want to hurt you can't hurt you. People will not be able to see your weak spots or your blind spots or your weak points, because you've already began working on them. And especially where it comes to money, don't let people shame you, because there's this whole culture that goes around in self-development circles where I know that there's people come to me who have said that, and I've heard it through the grapevine with other people as well, that they hire six-figure coaches or six-figure mentors or whatever figure. It's boring to me, but that's what I usually hear. And people constantly shame each other, like, oh, you only make $5,000 a month, I make 8, or oh, you only make $8,000 a month, I make 15. You know what? Who cares what you make? As long as you are happy where you are and you are progressing with your life, don't let anybody shame you or talk you out of what you're doing. You know best for your business, and you know best of what comes ahead. There are a lot of people who want to self-aggrandize and grow quickly because they want to show the world that they are successful. And those are the first people that do not know how to use the Tower of Pain, is what I channeled from Clauneck, to really sit with the jewels inside, so that, say for instance, there's an earthquake and the sensors that are put underneath the building can roll, it can move. I mean, some architects have incredible structures and pieces of work that I, as an ordinary normal person, could never imagine, because I'm not an architect. But they have ways to protect buildings, and you need to work on building the core. I always tell people this: it's not about building your business, it's not about being an entrepreneur, it's not about making X amount of money and sitting on a boat or saying, oh look, I can afford to live in this area, I can drive this car. That's very nice, but because if you haven't dealt with the Tower of Pain, all that stuff can crumble down very easily. Now, there are base threads. I think I spoke about this in another video, or I've written about this on my blog. Either way, whichever it is, you guys can see it. And each situation in life is held by different colored threads. The predominant thing is people always try and pull the top threads because they think that's what's going to move the situation. One needs to understand the Tower of Pain, and I work with that very deeply with Clauneck through, blasting out money blocks and wealth blocks. You have to go to the core and pull the thread off that core, basically. But the funny thing is that you can't just jump all those levels and then go and pull that base thread. You need to obviously go through all the surface levels. And as much as you go through the surface levels, you're going to have more and more things that come up. The threads are going to be tighter, they're going to be harder to break, they're going to be more like rope, if anything. And that's really where the Tower of Pain comes in, because remember, when you're getting closer to your divine mission or your goals, your life is going to get harder and harder. You're going to feel like you need to put more and more of a fight, which is why most people don't fight for anything. As I spoke to one of my clients, I just remember she's saying a lot of people are apathetic, they're numb, they can't be bothered because of the stuff they've put in your food, your water, your air. They're suppressing all that rage and that fight inside you. The fire inside you is all suppressed. And when you work with the Tower of Pain, you're going to feel feelings of rage that come up. I remember when I first started to work with Clauneck and I started to feel feelings of rage and power and pain, and I really enjoyed feeling that rage because it gave me a lot of power. I mean, you typically feel rage when you're at a loss of power, so to speak. So it's a very good way to reclaim back everything that's perhaps being taken away from you. So when you work with towers of pain, just know that there are levels to pain. Some people have endured more than others in their life. So this is subjective. For everyone feels different types of pain. Some people may have had just a life filled with pain, or some people have had stints or briefs of pain, or some people actually really just got it easy. So not everybody lives the same life because not everybody has the same mission. And typically and traditionally, the more pain that you have to overcome, the bigger your greatness, your goal, your destiny to go and help others. And the Tower of Pain, which I work with Clauneck, is very much tied into wealth consciousness, because in order to handle large amounts of money, in order to allow them to come in, not just with someone like, oh, well, I have a business and I do ads and I make this much amount of money, but emotionally they don't have anything going on. In order to have the full Monty, in order to have that strength inside you emotionally, that unbreakable steel core, you have to use the Tower of Pain, because King Clauneck is huge on people doing their money work, their emotional work inside to build their structure up. Because remember, if your structure is not built up, money can come in your life, but, and I suppose to a degree it can save you from things, but it will not be able to protect you from the hard emotional knocks. Money is a very good filter, and it's a very good barrier. It helps you slide through life instead of scraping it, and I can speak with experience from having a lot of money and not having money and going back to money. So I can definitely say that the Tower of Pain is very important, because the Tower of Pain is where the jewels lie in order to fabricate a strong personality inside. You want to really create something, and you really want to make sure that it's set and it's sorted. It reminds me of like an iron steel floor. People are not supposed to be able to move and shake you. We don't want your life where there's a boxing ring and people are pushing you from one end to another. The point is, when somebody pushes you, you're not supposed to be able to move. And I mean that on an emotional level. The Tower of Pain does not mean that you do not have love in your heart, you do not have kindness, or you do not have compassion. You have all of it, and through that, you can really allow those deep Platonian rage-based feelings to come to the core and surface, so that when you are then put in a situation similar to that, it may not be the same situation comes years down the road. You know how to deal with it from a place of, well, I've already healed inside and risen into my power. You know, it's not just like, ow, you know, it says it's a wound. Like a wounded animal is the worst, or wounded human, because you poke them with a stick and they're just going to go for you. And there's going to be ways, and there's going to be days where you really do feel wounded, and you have to do that work. And every single person on this planet has those wounds, whether a person is aware of that Tower of Pain or not. We all carry something within us that causes that pain, and typically we run away from pain because we don't want to face ourselves in it. I can only do so much to help people, give them the key to unlock that door of pain so that they're able to move away from it, but I can't walk that door for them. A lot of people think that if they work with an entity like Clauneck, that Claunec's just going to throw them money, or he's going to bring them money, or he's going to shower them with things. That's not how it works. If anything, it's going to be like school. Clauneck's just going to give you tests, and he's not even going to give you the questions and tests. It's just going to bring testing situations in your life, and it's up to you to figure out if you actually even know what that test is or not, or if you even know what Clauneck is giving you. Because in order to build yourself into somebody that's self-made, it is very important that you see things for what they are and not what people want you to see what they are. Because our world, our reality right now is based on illusions. So I hope that's helped, and I hope that's given everybody watching this a real clear perspective on work on the Tower of Pain. Have the courage to dig into your pain. You're going to feel pain, it's going to bleed, it's going to hurt, you're going to cry, you're going to scream, and that's the only way you'll be able to heal inside whatever's inside you, whoever's bullied you, whoever's hurt you, whoever's humiliated you, whatever it is. Each person has gone through that. You have to dig into the Tower of Pain, otherwise you're just going to end up resorting to avoidance, to running away from things, to being a people pleaser, to using addictions to combat it. You're stronger than this. If you're watching this video, you're stronger than all of those 4 things I've mentioned, and you do have it within you to be able to feel that tower of pain, give yourself space and time so that you heal and then you fully rise into your power. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for giving me your time today, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care.